This is a little bit of a vlog venting. Is it venting? I don't know. I called it Crazy Peach People because this is what happened to me the other day. Now, every year for like the last 8 years, I order peaches from the peach truck. And I go to the location every year and I stand in line with my little wagon and I show them my QR code and I pick up my 50 pounds of peaches. Yeah, I did say 50 pounds of peaches. Anyway, I went this year. This year it happened to be at a Cracker Barrel. They were in the back of the parking lot. And so I got up early in the morning and I drove 25 miles to go pick up my peaches. And I park and I get my little wagon and I get my peaches and I'm at Cracker Barrel. So I got to go get some biscuits to take home for breakfast. So I go into Cracker Barrel. I get my biscuits and I'm walking around with my bag of biscuits and I go to the clearance rack because you got to look at the clearance rack. That's where I get a lot of my clothes actually, is Cracker Barrel. So I was in the clearance rack, back in that little corner. So I'm in the corner with the clearance rack looking at clothes and I see two young women. They work for Cracker Barrel. They're wearing their Cracker Barrel aprons and they're looking out the window. And they're looking out the window and they're making faces and looking at each other. And I thought, well, what are they looking at? And then one of them says, "Why are all those crazy people standing in line to get peaches out of the back of that truck? What is it about peaches anyway?" And I stopped for a second and I was about to tell them about the peaches. But then I thought, am I one of those crazy people standing there holding my bag of biscuits? I was just out there 10 minutes ago getting my peaches. But then I thought, no, it's not me that's crazy. It's those poor young ladies. They don't understand peaches. Maybe they didn't drive around when they were kids, stopping at roadside stands with their grandmother, picking the best peaches of the season when they came. Maybe they don't have an Aunt Betty that drives her famous peach cobbler from Tennessee down to Florida for a family gathering. And I'll just tell you, I'd stab my husband in the knuckles if he reached for that last piece with all that gooey goodness and that peach cobbler. So every year I get my peaches. I prepare for peach season. I get everything together before I go get my peaches. I've got my canning supplies. I've got my freezing supplies. I get my knives sharpened. I get the racks laid out because you got to lay them out and you work on them for about 2 weeks. And I make canned peaches, I freeze peaches, I make peach ice cream, I make peach cobbler. And I put up enough peaches in my freezer to last us a whole year so that I can be sure I can make my famous peach pound cake. Now, am I a crazy peach lady? I don't know, maybe. But I'll tell you what, if you come over, you're gonna love my peach cobbler.